Hi, I'm Luke Gross, owner of Own a Home Solutions LLC. And what we do here at Own a Home Solutions LLC is we buy properties for the purposes of lease optioning them. We're not in the rental business. There certainly are better ways, in my opinion, to hold property other than just being a typical landlord and setting up regular lease agreements. And really, one of the best ways to do that, and really the topic of these discussions, is setting up, lease option agreements with your buyer. And in previous videos, I went through some of the basics of what a lease option is and how they're established. Is going to focus on some of the drawbacks or some of the setbacks to lease options because they do exist, although they are very, very few of them. They're very minimal and they're very easy to avoid if you're setting up your lease option contracts in the appropriate way. So if you're a seller or a landlord, one of the drawbacks is your buyer or your tenant is going to try or can in rare cases can try to claim equitable title in the property before they're exercising their option to purchase. But any good lease option contract that's written well is going to eliminate this as a risk. As the investor, as the owner, when you enter your buyer or your tenant into a lease option agreement, they are a tenant renting the property from you with the future option to purchase. And until they exercise their option to purchase and buy you out of the contract, they do not own the property. Simply all they've done is they've entered into a contract agreement with you, which states that they have a duration of time to exercise their option to purchase. Until that point, they are essentially a tenant with additional rights to the property, such as, we can't sell the property to another buyer. They're able to take advantage of the appreciation of the property in a growing market and things of that nature. But there is no equitable title exchange until the property is actually exercised to be purchased by your tenant buyer. On the other hand, if you're a tenant buyer, a drawback to you is that your landlord or your seller will decide that they want to sell you the property if you're trying to exercise your option to purchase. Again, if you have a lease option agreement that is established and written well, then this protects the buyer tenant from any circumstances of the landlord seller not wanting to sell the property to you. While you're in a contract, whatever that duration of time is, let's call it 2 years, if you're making regular payments and you've given that investor, landlord, owner a down payment and you're making those monthly payments on time, you have all the legal right to exercise your option to purchase that during the duration of that contract. So those are just some of the setbacks on both the seller and the buyer side. Another potential setback could be the due on sale clause. Now, this really only applies to the owner of the property or the investor seller. In this case, if the house has a mortgage on it and you sell this property or you find a buyer to enter into a lease option agreement with you, the bank may basically call the loan. So if you have a mortgage on the property, they may require you to pay whatever the balance on that mortgage is if one exists. This, I have never heard of this actually happening. This would be an amazing turn of events. There is no bank that I know of on planet Earth that would exercise a due on sale clause on a mortgage that's being paid on time and performing well. It's going to cost the bank more money to foreclose, and essentially they're going to lose money on you if they decide to foreclose on the property utilizing this due on sale clause. So again, it's something, it's noteworthy. It's something to mention just so you're aware of it, but it's something that I've never seen or actually heard of happening with respect to a lease option agreement. So just some things to keep in mind if you're looking to either enter into a lease option agreement as a buyer or you're looking to buy property for the purposes of investing for lease options. Just some things to keep in mind. And I appreciate you watching this video. Now, if you want to get some more information about how lease option works, you can go to my website and download a free copy of my ebook. It's lukegross.com. It's LUKEGROSS.com. It's, a rent to own your new home ebook. Again, lukegross.com. Thanks for watching.